Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about cookie pop-ups. We have already spoken about what consent is and what cookie consent is. So let's get into a bit more details on cookie pop-ups. I'll start up with quickly about the basic definition. Data privacy, my right to choose what personal information do I want to share, with whom and for what purpose. And also decide whether this information can be shared by the first party with any other third party. Right? So if you want to process my data, you need my data, and then you tell me your purpose, and then I decide whether I want to share my data with you or not. That is what is data privacy. And actually my permission to you to process my data and my permission to you to share my data with another third party is what is consent management. Right? Data privacy gives me the legal framework around misuse of my data or wrong sharing of my data. Consent management, simple. You come up to me, you ask for my personal information for a purpose. So your process of obtaining and documenting and managing my permission, that is my consent, to collect my information and to share my information with another third party is consent management. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next thing, which is cookies. Cookies are small text files, extremely harmless. They are created when you go to a website. They may get deleted when you delete them manually, or you clear your browser history, or you shut down the browser, depending on the kind of cookie it is. And we have a YouTube video on the cookie types, so you can go through that and understand what are the various kinds of cookies and how they are classified on their duration of life or source of origin. The basic target of a cookie is to capture your information. It includes personal information. It is more or less harmless because it only helps in knowing your browsing preferences and giving you better website performance when you log in next time on that particular website. Marketing cookies, third-party cookies could slightly be tricky because they help the original marketer to keep targeting you with their products, giving you a lot of ads around their products. But otherwise, generally cookies are harmless and good for the users. Now we come on to what a cookie pop-up is. A cookie pop-up is a pop-up banner that comes up on a website. It gives you information about what personal information it is gathering and the purpose of it. It simply comes up as a notification and you either accept or reject it. Its main purpose is to inform you about what are the types of cookies it is using, purpose of those cookies, and options to accept or decline the particular use of cookies. Some pop-ups could have a detail option also, where you can click at that button and then you get a granular consent, choose what you want to allow, what you don't want to allow. Again, on my channel itself you have a video on consent management, actually around 7-8 videos on consent management, and one of them on the types of consent available. So you can subscribe to my channel and see if you get some valuable insights into consent management also. And so these cookie pop-ups are sent where a notification comes up on the website page. It tells you what it is doing, it tells you what type of cookies it is storing, and it allows you to choose whether you want to accept the cookies or whether you want to reject those cookies. That's the basic purpose of it, and that's the way it is supposed to be handled if the website company is getting compliant with data privacy. And the purpose of cookies, as I mentioned earlier as well, in a slightly technical language, it enhances transparency because it tells you what it is going to do and what is it going to collect, so you know what is happening with your information and what part of your information. It simplifies the consent process. You are browsing something, and if it requires a consent, it pops up at that particular time. So it makes your life easier. You don't have to think about what consent where and all. It keeps the visitors informed about the consent, and it helps build trust with the visitor of the website. You know your data is, you know what is going to happen with your data, so it builds trust with you. From a website developer or owner kind of a thing, it gives them a transparency and compliance with the regulations. It helps them analyze and optimize performance. So it is good for them also. So personal information gathered by cookies is good for the website owner as well. Best practices in cookie pop-up design. The display should be clear. These are going to be similar to what we did in the consent management video. Basically, the purpose of a cookie is also to take your consent. So the design has to be similar on the similar guidelines of consent management. A clear display, simple language, maybe you can use some local language depending on if you have tracked the language that the user use or the geographical region he is into, and accordingly you can put it on cookies language as well, maybe with some images so that it's easier. So typically like a consent form, and we have videos on best practices of language and visual aids on consent management as well. So clear, granular options, so you can pick and choose. Easy to change your preferences. Easy to withdraw consent, which is a very important part of data privacy. It is easy to provide consent and it should be easy to withdraw consent as well. And then it should link to the complete privacy policy. Privacy policy which should, or ideally which cannot, I mean there's no legal framework that says that it has to include cookie policy, but yes, privacy policy and cookie policy can be separate, can be the same. The cookie pop-up should ideally have a link to the complete set of policies related to privacy that you have for your website and for your organization. So these are some of the best practices on cookie pop-ups, their purpose, their design, and how it helps both the website owner as well as you as a customer to be sure about what is happening to your personal information. That's what I wanted to talk about cookie pop-ups. We'll have a video on cookie notice and cookie policy also in the next few videos. So stay tuned to my channel and subscribe to it to get regular updates on the content that is available on the channel. And if you like the content, press the like and bell icon. Share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.